The Po' Boy Pundits podcast is brought to you by What Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top-quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. Pulpery Media presents Po' Boy Pundits with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the political headlines that grab our attention and all those little jerks that infuriate us.
Elon Musk. Now he has the French government and German government.
Yeah.
Well, French for sure. I don't know if the Germans put out a...
The Germans are, yeah.
Right, because he was like openly putting on his brainwashing app to vote for the far-right guy in Germany and in France.
Yeah. How could that go wrong?
I mean, he's still a South African citizen, right?
I believe so.
Because he's not a United States citizen.
No.
No, he said it. He moved here to go to college and he never left.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's still on a student visa or something like that.
Yeah. Technically, he's an immigrant.
I mean, he might have gotten it through marriage or something, but
okay, whatever. A private citizen. How about that?
Right. I mean, that's
with lots of money
and control over a media network.
Correct. Yeah. One of the big three, social media. By the way, did you see Facebook is getting rid of their fact checkers and they're going to community notes now?
Yeah.
So Zuckerberg's turning into Musk. He's building a fucking bunker in Hawaii.
But yet we're banning TikTok.
Right, because the Chinese own him.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the Chinese kind of own Musk too, because every single part he needs for SpaceX comes from
China.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So who really is pulling the strings? I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but again, follow the money. It's always been like that. Follow the money.
Yeah.
And
everyone in the world's a bitch. You just have to figure out who's paying.
Correct. and there's a pattern here that these people that he is endorsing, for lack of a better term, are people like-minded.
Yeah, but I mean, same reason he endorsed Donald Trump is that if you had not that it was part of her platform, but you allow Kamala Harris and the Democrats to gain power, they might start at least auditing or checking on government contracts.
You mean regulating?
Yeah.
Like the government should do, which is another thing that they're about to get rid of, regulations. You think the Boeing thing is a problem now?
Right.
Let all this shit go.
Oh my God. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Housing is going to turn upside down again.
Oh, yeah.
All of this stuff. But back to Elon. The hubris of this fucking alien being. I don't know what, if there is a true lizard people eating babies to fuel their mana, it's him.
Yeah, but that's kind of offensive to aliens because you're talking about, I mean...
He is awkward.
Not to get dorky on this. But if we ever encounter aliens, first off, they're traveling here. So they've learned
we're never going
interstellar travel. They're clearly smarter than us. They've clearly mastered at least a civilization that is either cooperative or dominant enough to...
You mean push society forward?
Isn't
that...
either physically or cooperatively.
Right.
To that point to where you're coming out and you're visiting other worlds. Most likely, it's going to be the Dark Forest theory, where they're coming here to completely destroy us and take what
little bit of resources we have left.
But even so, you have to go you've clearly mastered whatever life is,
right?
So at least better than we have.
So you know what?
Yeah.
Good on you.
Where this man is still trying to figure out how to be interviewed by cable news networks.
It's like...
Did I bring that back around?
No, you did. And what I was trying to come up with, it's like a drunk infant controlling an adult body.
Yeah. Or
I don't think he knows how to talk
I was it's like, did you ever watch BoJack Horseman?
Yeah.
You remember that character that was like 3 kids in a trench coat?
Yes.
With a broom for a hand?
Yes. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Fair enough. He's like, I get it, he's awkward. He's clearly on the spectrum. Clearly. He's not a fucking genius. I don't want to fucking hear that he's a genius. He's a genius only, and he used his money to buy other things to make more money.
Yeah, which we've seen other people do that, and they're clearly not geniuses either.
Correct.
Yeah, you're right. Like, yeah, all the stuff that he claims he owns, he never created it.
Nope, none of it. Like, he may have a degree in something. Cool.
Yeah.
I don't have one. You're clearly smarter than me.
Not necessarily.
Well, I say that in jest. So yeah, I keep saying it. Bond villain, but like stupid Bond villain, like dumber than Dr. Evil Bond villain.
What's it say? Yeah, it's like early Dr. Evil.
Yeah, like he is. But he's got so much pull in the world. I guess that's what I can't wrap my brain around. That this man.
I think, in a way, this might be probably the way that a lot of people looked at like Rockefeller and Carnegie, going like, you can't trust.
Yeah.
Why are we letting this guy do everything? And then, eventually you have people step up, but we're in one of those cycles where I think, we're in that, where clearly we are, in a brand new cycle where the hip thing is to exploit workers, and to let our MSNBC be like, we're now living in an oligarchy. Like, okay, this ain't the first time, sweethearts. All right, like
no, you're absolutely right.
We're back in that where we're in a robber baron or a gilded age where everything looks nice, but it's fucking decrepit and rotten and fucking shitty in the middle.
Well, I mean, we've been crumbling from the inside for a very long time.
Yeah, but it's like this shit can happen in cycles. It's the question is, can we get out of it without having to be involved in a gigantic world conflict?
That's my biggest thing, and I don't know. I don't know. For at least for 2 years, we could. I don't know. Well, like, we could be anything from where we are right now, whatever, we're still bitching about it, to like The Last of Us with a plague and zombie flower people running around killing us.
Well, so here's something, it just, particularly with the rhetoric around not just Trump, but the party.
Yeah.
And even like utilizing
and I put
their
Elon
friends
Musk
in
this.
that. Yeah. But what they could do is that they could say that there is a national emergency, right? Like that there's poverty, there's inequality, blah blah blah, and Trump could, with the support of Congress, effectively declare war powers. But that should have I want to bring it back to Detroit. So he could use the federal government to build new factories that would put people, that would increase jobs in control. Now, again, I'm just saying theoretically, right?
No. I was just more thinking about the slave labor that's going to happen after the fact.
But but even then, it's like, to make sure it balances out, right? I mean, even if they're paying a minimum wage in whatever state it is, right, where it could be like, here's $7 and a quart. Excuse me.
That is fucking ridiculous.
But yeah,
think about $7.25. Tell me what you can buy for $7.25.
A big shot.
You can buy a $5 lottery ticket.
Yeah, it's gonna happen this time.
And
But I'm just saying is that
3-piece.
If he wants to back up his rhetoric, there are ways that he and a Republican-controlled Congress can actually get it done. Like, they could rebuild, and I'm not talking about like Biden Build Back Better. Like, they could rebuild or build new factories for American companies to come in and take over. and start that man. But that's the level it would take. You would have to like literally be like, we are at war with poverty, we're at war with unemployment, something like that. And he uses war powers.
War on drugs.
Sure, but
Did that work?
Yeah, or like war on the Sacklers.
Right.
But even that, like, yeah, it's like, okay, like, look, here's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna, we're gonna make sure everything's manufactured here.
And that's the only way to do it is to put the infrastructure in.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which we have Republican and Democratic presidents have allowed to go in other places because and this is the reality of it, which is like, again, the level of stupidity, which is starting with Bill Clinton and with the idea of NAFTA that was when DC realized we no longer live in an isolated world where you can be self-contained.
Nope.
So globalization, whether you hate it or love it, it's a real fucking thing, and that we don't.
Man, they all left.
Yeah,
they left the country,
and it doesn't matter.
Trump's gonna bring them back,
right? And even if they do come back, there are things that we cannot find here in the United States. There are things that companies will not produce here because even if you got rid of every fucking union, even $7.25 an hour for some companies is too much to pay their workers.
Right. That's why nobody's here.
Right. Because you can pay them $4, $3, or you can just lock them in.
I mean,
and if they want to jump off the top of the building, they can jump off the top of the building.
Well, they'll get food.
Yeah, right. Rice.
So then what is Elon's fucking... why does he give a shit about this country? Because of the government subsidies?
His government contract.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also gets subsidies, too.
Oh, he's got the contracts and they're two separate things?
Yeah.
The fuck? So he's getting money hand over fist from multiple countries.
Right, so like our federal government is essentially paying him to do what NASA can't do right now.
Right, so he's NASA.
Right. And then of course he gets a subsidy for owning Twitter, or he gets
Tesla,
and then God knows how much property he owns. He probably owns a bunch of farms too, so he gets, instead of private farmers getting subsidies,
right,
Elon Musk is getting like twice as much as what they would normally get because
so that's his interest.
I'm just saying, like for example, that's how people like that operate. Like they learn how to take, you learn how to take a couple of $1 million, and then you figure out how these governments will just funnel you money.
Right.
And then you keep it liquid so you never have to pay taxes on it.
Right.
But you can take out loans all day long.
Awful liquidity.
Yeah. Correct, yeah. Which is also why it's always hysterical. Granted, the guy runs a fairly strong financial institution in Chase Manhattan, but whenever Jamie Dimon is interviewed about like what Americans should do, it's like you clearly.
No, you are completely out of touch.
It's like I can't even. It's like you clearly never take gloves off.
No,
like you don't even chop your own vegetables.
No, he. Yeah, no. I bet he pees. I bet someone tabs his penis.
No, they hold his dick while he pees.
Right, and then wipe it off with a wet wipe. Oh.
Like a baby.
So
he put a little pee-pee tent where they change him.
Perfect. All right, here we go.
Don't upset little Jamie.
So it's going to be a while before these guys go away.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna take. Last time this happened, it took a strong presidential. The following segment has been brought to you by Whatever Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. The Po' Boy Podcast is a production of Pulpery Media, produced and edited by Ben Grimion, marketing by Brock Ryder, graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion, music by the Heisenberg Compensators.